Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and it is that time of the month again. It is time for the Movie Nerds Club to assemble and talk about a top 5 of something. This time around, it is our top 5 Pixar movies, and I did an actual Pixar ranking. If you would like to check that out, it will be linked in the eye in the right-hand corner. Even though Luca and Turning Red are coming out, I still think that my list does hold up. At the very least, in America, Pixar is the #1 animation studio. They're basically, they still go from strength to strength, despite some stumbles. But still, even their stumbles are still better than your average. Pixar is Ric Flair in 1986. They're the 1996 New York Yankees. They're pretty much just one of the very best ever. And I'm so happy to be talking about Pixar yet again. So before I get into my list, I want to ask you guys, what are your favorite Pixar movies? Leave them in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. Also, please be sure to check out my fellow Movie Nerds Club mates. Their videos will be linked in the description. Before I get into the actual list, I have just 2 honorable mentions: Ratatouille and Up. I like both. And in another list, they would probably be near the top. However, there are just 5 others that are better. Consider that Ratatouille and Up are both excellent. Now consider that there are 5 ones better than that, and on my list, subjectively. That's how good Pixar is, just an FYI. Number 5, Monsters, Inc. I have a lot of nostalgia attached to Monsters, Inc. My dad took me to see it, and it was one of my first movie-going experiences that I still remember. But even if I took off my rose-tinted glasses, the movie is still really, really good. I maintain that it is one of the funniest Pixar movies ever. The last 20 minutes of the movie are excellent. Just from when Sully has to say goodbye to Boo, to converting it to the Laugh Factory, to getting the little shard of Boo's door, putting it in there, and then opening the door and hearing the kitty, and just seeing Sully's eyes just light up. It's a very underrated Pixar moment. Number 4, Inside Out. Inside Out has been analyzed and overanalyzed, so I will not be dwelling on this one too much. But yeah, Inside Out is fantastic. It's one of the best movies about dealing with your feelings that we'll probably ever see. It makes me laugh to people think this is going to be just a retread of Herman's Head, a very obscure 80s movie that probably no one had ever heard of. People just love to complain, I guess. Number 3, The Incredibles. Again, The Incredibles has been shown a lot of love. This is not necessarily obscure, so I'll just spare the long-winded explanation. You know exactly what this movie is. And yeah, it's still excellent. I think it was on a Letterboxd comment that The Incredibles was the greatest Fantastic Four movie ever made. And considering there have been 4 tries at making a Fantastic Four movie and 4 failures, yeah, they got it right. Number 2, Finding Nemo. AKA one of the best dad movies of all time. Now, on the internet, when people say something is a dad movie, I find it rather derogatory because of a straight-laced guy just beating up a lot of other people to get what he wants. People say oh, it's a dad movie, I love those dad movies, huh? I just think that's incredibly condescending. It's internet slang, and I just don't care for it. What I consider a dad movie is Finding Nemo. A dad who will do anything, and I mean anything, to find his son. Even being kidnapped by a seagull and teaming up with a fish voiced by Ellen DeGeneres. This movie has one of the darkest first acts I think I've seen in any Pixar movie. When I was a lot younger, I really didn't pick up on what was happening, but when the whole Marlin's wife and the rest of his kids get eaten by a much bigger fish, and Marlin finds Nemo with the little cracked egg thing. For a movie that's rated G, that's darker than pretty much 90% of the horror movies that I've ever seen. There's also a great comeback to where at the beginning of the movie, Nemo asks his dad how old a sea turtle is, and Marlin didn't know. Then he actually meets a sea turtle, shout out to Crush, he's awesome, and tells him, and then at the end when Nemo nearly gets crushed, Marlin tells him how old a sea turtle is. It's a great bonding moment, and it's fantastic. And my favorite Pixar movie of all time is Toy Story 2. I think this is a hot take. I am not entirely sure. All that I do know is that I love Toy Story 2. It is the best Toy Story movie, and I always argue that Toy Story 3 and 4 would not be possible if not for the actions of Toy Story 2. This has some of the best Pixar animation ever. This has the best Pixar song, When She Loved Me by Sarah McLachlan. Look it up if you need a good cry. And the movie pretty much sets the tone for the entire Toy Story series, about how Woody, knowing full well that Andy will grow up and forget him, chooses to stay and have as many great moments as he can. I love that. I love the spirit of that. That's just the tip of the iceberg with Toy Story 2. Jessie, played by Joan Cusack, is great. Kelsey Grammer voices Stinky Pete. He's always great. There's a great subplot with Buzz and Zurg that's really cool. I hope Lightyear touches on that. And I can't really get super deep as to why I love Toy Story 2 so much. I just do. And there are compelling cases for other Pixar movies being number one, which I totally understand. However, Toy Story 2 just does everything to near perfection, and that's why it is my favorite Pixar movie of all time. And if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.